You ready for this?
I've never been more ready for anything in my whole life.
This is your first film after that Moonlight success. Everyone has been buzzing about it already as an Oscar contender. What makes this one more special than Moonlight?
Well, I mean, I don't have any kids, but if I had them, I would say none of my kids is more special than the others. To be brutally honest, we tried to approach it in a way where it wasn't different. You know, we're just people trying to tell stories. And when I say us, I'm speaking of myself, my cinematographer, the editors, the producers, you know, all these people who I've known since I was like 20, 21 years old.
Yeah.
We just always had this dream of being able to tell very interesting, rich stories, and I feel like this book falls in line with that.
That child, it's your grandchild. What difference does it make how it gets here?
Unbow your head, sister.
A few themes in this film stuck out to me. Social injustice, pregnancy out of wedlock, which are taboos. What about this James Baldwin novel struck you to tell this story?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Mr. Baldwin's work, and I loved in this film or in this book how so many different voices Mr. Baldwin speaks with were fused in the story. To speak on some of the things you mentioned, what I love is that all these things the family's dealing with, this out-of-wedlock pregnancy, this thing that happens to Fonnie, all of it's treated without shame in a certain way.
We are drinking to new life. Tish gonna have Fonnie's baby.
And I just love how the family unit unites around these two young lovers who, to me, when I read the book and hopefully when you watch the film, are soulmates, which cuts through the idea of marriage or wedlock or any of those things.
What I love about it is that Beale Street could be anywhere. And I know you're from Florida. What would your hometown say about your upbringing?
I think they would say it's very similar to the upbringing of these characters, but also the character in Moonlight as well. I lived in a neighborhood and a community that was a bit wild, you know, to be brutally honest, and I grew up in the age of crack cocaine, so it was very dark, to be even more honest, but there was always love somewhere, and there was a really strong sense of community.
It was amazing, and one of the most commanding actresses on screen was Miss Regina King. Talk to me about the favorite scene that you had shooting with her.
There was a scene where the two families come together, which was really wonderful to work on, but I think my favorite moment working with Regina was when it was just her and her reflection in a mirror. We did this scene where she's having this difficulty getting herself ready for this big confrontation, and it's just her and her reflection in a mirror, and we only did it from two angles, and it was just really lovely to see how brave and committed she was to doing something that was almost like a silent film moment, you know, in this very talky movie. With
the Oscars buzz that's been going on, Damien is also going to be up with First Man. How does it feel to be in the mix with him again after that La La Land mix-up?
I mean, the mix-up was one thing that was very interesting and bizarre. I don't want to speak for Damien, but, you know, he didn't make If Beale Street and I didn't make First Man. If we had made the same film, then it would feel like we're in competition or in a mix-up or something like that. But I think we're all just trying to tell stories, and they end up where they end up.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that there's no competition.
Remember, love is what brought you here.
Kiki and Stefan, what do you think people are going to say about their chemistry?
And I think what they'll see when they see these two beautiful young black people, it's this very rich depiction of just soulmates, you know. I think Kiki and Stefan did this wonderful job of creating a very pure love.